In our last video, we looked at how Royal Caribbean built an empire of floating mega ships. We talked about innovations, water slides, ice rinks, and pure magic being out of the open ocean. But when you put thousands of people on massive vessel operating in international waters under foreign flags, things can get complicated and sometimes downright dark. From multi-million-dollar corporate cover-ups, terrifying natural disasters, and unsolved true crime mysteries that still haunt the industry today. These are the dark sides of Royal Caribbean. Let's start at the late 1990s. At this point, Royal Caribbean heavily promoting themselves as eco-friendly company that loved the ocean. But behind the scenes, a massive corporate cover-up crime was taking place. When the massive cruise ship operates, it generates an oily bilge water and hazardous chemical waste from things like photo processing and dry cleaning. Disposing of it legally is expensive. So Royal Caribbean engineers installed a secret illegal bypass pipes. At night, at total darkness, they would pump toxic waste directly into the sea, bypassing filtration systems. They even falsified the logs to lie to the US Coast Guard. When they finally got caught red-handed, the company pleaded guilty to multiple federal corporate crimes and was hit with staggering to 27 criminal fine. It remains one of the most embarrassing environmental scandals in maritime history. But corporate pollution is one thing. Personal tragedy is another. On July 5th, 2005, a tragedy occurred that would forever change how cruise lines handle shipboard security and passenger safety. George Allen Smith was on his dream honeymoon aboard Royal Caribbean Brilliance of the Seas, sailing between Greece and Turkey. After a late night drinking at ship casino and bar with group of men, George returned to his cabin and he was never seen again. The next morning, the passengers on the lower deck noticed a horrific sight of massive bloodstain of the white company directly beneath the George Smith's cabin. George has vanished. Royal Caribbean immediately faced fierce criticism. The family alleged the cruise line washed down the awning and compromised the crime scene before the FBI investigated even started. Was that the tragic drunken accident or was it a murder? Despite intense media coverage and hearing in Congress that actually forced cruise lines to pass a stricter safety laws, George's body was never found. And to this day, no one was charged, and it remains one of the ocean's greatest unsolved mysteries. Fast forward to the December 2019. Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas was docked in New Zealand. The cruise line offered a popular, highly rated shore excursion, a walking tour of Wakaari, also known as White Island, an active maritime volcano. While 47 passengers and tour guides were walking inside the crater of volcano, the volcano started violently and unexpectedly erupting. Plumes of toxic gases, ash, boiling rocks blasted into the air. Horrible. There were nowhere to hide. The accident claimed 22 lives and left dozens of people with horrific life-altering burns. Massive legal battles issued. The core controversy. Scientists have raised the volcano alert weeks prior, warning of increased activities. Families sued Royal Caribbean, I think rightly so, arguing the cruise line never should have sent passengers into the mouth of the active volcano just for the excursion. As someone who absolutely loves cruising, researching these stories is a heavy reality check. These giant ships are wonderful vacations they also vulnerable, but they also vulnerable to international legal loopholes, human error, and the raw power of nature. The scandals forced Royal Caribbean to change, adapt, and tighten security. And they renewed that focus on passenger control to build their next big gamble, owning their own private destinations. In our final episode of this mini-series, we are pivoting back to the future. We are looking into how Royal Caribbean spent billions to build the ultimate private island, Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and how they designed the current king of the ocean, icon of the seas. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the finale. Let me know in the comments, do these scandals change how you view the cruise vacations? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.